All right, in this video, we're going to show you why we borrow when we subtract. Why does it look the way it looks, and how can we make it make sense? And we're going to do that using a visual representation, the place value chart. All right, to model subtracting 143 minus 68, we're going to begin with a place value chart and hundreds, tens, and ones. And now in this case, we're only going to model 143. We do not need to model the 68 because the 68 is what we're going to remove. So we don't need to model it. We're just going to model 143. So let's do that. Right here. 100, 1, 2, 3, 40, 1, 2, 3. So there's my modeling 143. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use this 68 almost as an inventory for keeping track of what it is we need to take away, keeping track of what we need to subtract. Now it says we need to subtract 8 ones, and right now we don't have 8 ones. So we're going to take one of these tens and convert it in to 10 ones. So let's take this 10, and we're going to cash it in for 10 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I no longer have 3 ones. I now have 13 ones. I no longer have 4 tens. I now have 3 tens because this guy got cashed in to give me 10 extra ones. So now I have 13 ones. So I've got 13. Now it says I need to cross off 8. Well, now I have enough to cross off 8. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've crossed off my 8. And I see that I have 5 ones left over. So there is my answer for the ones place. Now taking a look at the tens place, the recipe says I have 3 tens. I need to take away 6. Well, I have my 3 tens, but I don't have enough tens to cross off 6. So I'm going to go to this hundreds column, and I know that I can cash him in for 10 ones. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to cash that 100 in for 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's my 10 ones. And so now he's no longer, oops, I don't want to, well, that's good enough. So he's no longer there because we cashed him in for 10 tens. So now I no longer have 3 tens. I now have 13 tens. And I no longer have 100. I have 0 hundreds. And so now my model matches my algorithm and vice versa. So that now it says I'm supposed to take away 6 tens, which I can do. So I'm going to cross off 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I can see that I have 7 tens left over. So I'm going to write that in right here. And then the recipe said there was nothing else for me to do, so I am done. The answer is 75, and I can see it over here. Now, the important thing, parents and teachers, is for you to recognize why does the algorithm work the way it does? Why do we go next door and borrow 1 and all that sort of stuff? We're not going to use some silly little analogy. We're just going to use this visual representation to make sense of the idea that 1 big can be cashed in for 10 littles, and whether that's a 10 being cashed in for 10 ones, or whether that's 100 being cashed in for 10 tens. So taking a look at 259 minus 83, we're going to model that with our table, our place value chart. So that's my 10, 100, and 1. And so let's begin by modeling 259. And remember, we do not need to model that 83. 200, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, there's my 259. And now we're going to subtract what the problem says to, the recipe, so to speak. So it says to subtract 3 ones. Well, I have enough ones to subtract 3 ones, so that's going to be nice and straightforward. I can just cross off 3 ones, and I can see that I'm left with 6 ones left over. So there we go. Now moving into the tens column, it says I have 5 tens, yep, and I'm supposed to subtract 8 tens. Well, I don't have enough tens right now to cross off 8, so I'm going to go to the hundreds column, and I'm going to take one of these hundreds and cash it in for 10 tens. So I'm going to take this 100, and I'm going to cash it in, so he's going to be no longer there. I'm going to cash him in for 10 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tens. So what do I have here? I no longer have 2 hundreds. I only have 100. I can see that right here. I no longer have 5 tens. I now have 15 tens. And now I have enough tens to cross off 8 tens. I have 15 tens, cross off 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I can see that I have 7 tens left over. Then in my algorithm it says I have 100. Take away nothing. So that means I'm left with just a single 100. And so my answer is 176.